Hello. This is Cortez. His name's there, and I'm Nick Donish. And what I have drawn here on the board for you is a very crude version of the 12-bar blues. I'm a blues musician, so this is pretty near and dear to me. And the blues itself got me through some pretty tough times back in high school. I fell in love with like the old guys, the Robert Johnson and Son House and Blind Lemon Jefferson. Those guys all had really cool names. But yeah, it got me through a lot of hard times. So what I want to do is just sort of like give you an example of some 12-bar blues, and we'll go from there, and you'll see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's the blues. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but it was kind of in three parts, and pretty easy to see because I separated them out. You have your first third, your second third, and your last third is actually called the cadence, and that's when it gets really fun. It's got all that wonky stuff, and when you think of blues artists, that's what you hear. You like that kind of stuff. It's all in the cadence. So when I was really dealing with my problems, I can actually put this down now. I started to think about life as if it were the blues, and it makes sense because blues singers often they sing the blues and they play the blues because life has laid them low, just absolutely low, and they need time to let their soul bleed and heal. It was actually Robert Johnson. I told you about him before. He said the blues is like a low-down aching heart disease, and it can really be that way, and you need that time to heal. And I find personally that healing really comes because of the three parts. You get that healing in these last four bars of this blues, or that last third of the song. That's where it comes from. And that's the best part because you have your sadness. You keep explaining that sadness like, oh, I went blind and I lost my job. That sucked. Oh, my wife left me because I'm blind and I can't help anymore. Oh, at least I can't see how sad I am. Like, it sort of makes you feel good. So what I got to thinking about is, what if the blues were perpetually, you just get rid of this? How bad would that suck? To make things worse, if you don't understand music, this might not make sense, but this is a little repeat symbol. And let's say we repeated that to infinity. And you just kept, oh, I went blind, my wife left me, some more bad stuff happened. And you just keep saying that. Like, how much would that suck? And when I was going through that time in my life, I was thinking, I'm just going through these motions. I'm repeating the bad parts. I'm thinking about the bad parts. There's no catharsis. I don't get any release. I'm just reliving these bad things, and I can't get any closure. And that really sucked. I was also thinking about, like, what do I do with this? There's nothing to give me anything. I'm just forced to repeat this. There's not even any music written for me to sort of end this. And that was terrible. Sorry. But it led me to think, well, if I'm just going through life and I'm repeating these parts that make me sad, I just need to find the things that bring them to a close, that make it end. Just put it behind me, and I can move on with my life. And I did, and that was good, and that helped me learn how to play music, which was cool. But I also got to thinking, we can extrapolate this to anything. You could extrapolate just these 12 bars out to a whole song. You've got a whole sad song, but at least it comes to an end. You could take it to a moment in your life. There's bad things happening, like I just said, and you want them to close. You want it to end, so it's a full song. It's not just endlessly lamenting. What I thought was really cool, this in particular, not the whole complete version, that's writer's block. When you have these ideas in your head, but you can't completely get them out, and it sucks. Like you're imagining there's supposed to be something in your head. I'm supposed to be able to take this out, make this a complete thought, and it will read very well. But when you have writer's block, sure, those words may exist somewhere, but you can't get to them, and they're locked away from you. And you're just perpetually stuck with these thoughts that don't work, and even if you put them down on the page, you're like, what am I saying? None of this makes any sense, and it sucks, because everyone here knows writer's block if you've ever had it, which I have. It's terrible. And there's nothing you want more than just be able to finish what you're saying and finish what you want to get out. So, I mean, writer's block is one of those things that doesn't exactly have a specific cure. It's kind of a terrible ailment. But, I mean, just my 2 cents worth, trying to get some of that in there. Just try and wrap things up. Let things go, get them in the past, especially with writer's block. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to sort of work with it as you can, let it go, and hopefully you'll end up with a nice paper, a nice bluesy sounding paper.